Hello and welcome to Rock Your Block. I am your host, Tia Young, and we have a great show for you today. We are honored to have two returning guests on the set today. Our first guest is Miss Yetti Esatu, Realtor for Keller Williams Realty. Our second guest is Miss Elva Bustos, Senior Loan Officer for Fidelity Bank. Ladies, welcome to Rock Your Block. Thank you so much for braving the DMV traffic to get here.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we're going to get right into it because I have tons of questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know if we have actually recovered from the economic crisis of 2008, Yetti, with respect to purchasing and home buying, and Elva with respect to financing new homes. So, Yetti, you go first.
Okay, thank you. We have recovered very, very much. The market right now is extremely strong, and we're receiving multiple offers for a property, and we're selling properties in less than a week right now. Wow. We're getting multiple offers, so it looks very, very good.
Oh, that's
it's a
great news.
It's a great market. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to hear that. I was expecting to say, well, you know, we're we're getting there.
Yeah.
But that's wonderful news.
Yeah, we've been there. I mean, from 2011 until maybe last year or a year before. But since last year, the market has been really great.
That's good.
And this year, I could say it is very hot.
Oh, good. Yeah. Elva, what about you from the banking, financing end?
Yeah, I agree. Yetti is completely right. It's the season right now, and I believe buyers are motivated to acquire a home because interest rates are also low. And we have this week, it got a bit reduced compared to maybe 3 weeks ago. Also, we have very, very aggressive first-time homebuyer programs that are motivating, renters into getting into a home.
Wow, that's good. And that actually goes into my next question. I wanted to find out if there are any new programs on your side, Yetti, on the actual purchasing of homes, and then on your side with respect to making it, I guess the right word is not making it easier to get financing, but at least helping people to understand better about what they're getting into. So, Yetti, is there any new programs out on your side?
I think the engine for our business is the Lending Institute, which is Elva's position.
Side?
Yeah, but for us, once they become approved, our job is just to show them homes that are in that price range, in the approved price range. So pretty much, I mean, we only offer the houses that are on the market. We don't have any special thing that
classes
we do.
or training. And so that comes through Fannie Mae and FHA.
Everything from the lender side, but we just inform them the changes that are going on in the Realtor side, which is the buyer brokerage agreement. I mean, some of them, they used to go without having a buyer brokerage agreement signed, but now every buyer has to sign that before they go into the shopping for homes. Yeah.
So, Elva, then tell us a little bit more about some of the programs, the new programs that are out for.
Yes, I actually, that's my market. That's what I do every day is target first-time home buyers. There are several programs. Each state and county has programs for first-time buyers to include down payment assistance. I would say Virginia is one of the 3 states that surround us that have has the more aggressive program. Currently, through VHDA, through the Virginia Housing Development Authority, we're able to help first-time buyers with a 2.5% down payment for their first home, and that's a very unique max sales price of $500,000. So, a lot of young professionals are able to benefit from this product. And funding is anticipated to be there till the end of the year, and that has actually helped with the I guess amount of buyers that are out there, offering 5, 6, you and the realtor side getting 6 contracts because there are qualified buyers out there.
Okay, so the next question is the interest rates. What is the range of interest rates, and is that generated by credit scores? Like, the lower interest rates are going to go to the people with the higher credit scores. And I don't know anymore. I think it used to be maybe 550 or 600. I mean, what are the credit scores like now in order to be able to purchase?
It varies from program to program. And each lending institution has their own, criteria or low credit score. At the bank that I work for, at Fidelity, we, for government loan programs, FHA, our lowest credit score is 580.
Oh, okay.
For somebody that would use a VHDA program, is 620. Or 620, I would say, is pretty much.
Is that average?
Yeah, average.
620.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, interest rate is better for the higher scores, right?
Are they, some of them still at that 2? I know one time I was hearing about 2% and 3% interest rates.
We're still in the threes with government. 3.65, 3.75 is what we're currently seeing.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, many people lost their homes during the economic crisis between 2007 and 2011 or 12. You know, now that things have loosened up a lot, are those people that lost their homes, are they penalized, or can they have a fresh start? And I pose that, and Yetti, I know lending, like you said, is kind of the driver on it, because after you show the houses, you've kind of done your part. It's up to the banks. But if you have any comments on that, that's fine. And if not, then Elva gets to answer that question.
The answer, yeah, people who have done foreclosure in the short sale, the lending institute, I mean, back in the days, we used to tell them, asking the lenders or the loan officers, they have to wait 3 years. But right now, the guideline, it's their department, so I really don't know exactly, what the requirements now for the people who.
So what is that? Because some people have felt like they, you know, I made a mistake. Well, they don't feel like they made a mistake. They feel like the economy just went crazy. Some people lost jobs, sick children, just different things that happened that were beyond their control. And some people feel like they're being penalized because that happened 5 years ago. So now, you know, it's like they feel like they're shut out from purchasing another home.
We see that a lot of people that went through that hardship back in the days, years ago, are again back in the market. Some, of course, need guidance. You know, we need to help them recover, you know, especially credit scores. But as far as like the waiting period, if a borrower had a short sale, after 3 years, they're pretty much ready to buy a home, or 4 years after a foreclosure, 3 years after a bankruptcy. So pretty much by now, if you want to buy a home and you had faced financial hardship, like I would say 3-4 years ago, then you're ready, you can buy.
Well, you just said something interesting, because I know there was a time that if you had gone through a bankruptcy, you had to wait 7 or 8 years. And so you say now it's like 3.5?
3 years with for our FHA loan. And this is also one thing that many people don't know is if you didn't own a home within the past 3 years, you're considered first-time home buyer. So you can benefit from any of the down payment assistance programs that we have available.
Wow, that's really something. I remember when I purchased a home, this has been a million years ago, there were not a lot of programs that would sit us down and really walk us through what we were getting into. Not on the realtor side or on the banking side. You just kind of went there, and if you had good credit scores, you kind of got it, and then you get into this and you thought, oh, I didn't know I was going to have to do that. No, I didn't know I was be responsible for that, because you've been used to renting for so long. So, Yetti, how do you prepare the people that come to you that want to, you know, do you pre-certify them in any kind of way, or do you sit down and just tell them what the ABCs are?
We usually set up an appointment for them to come to my office, and then once they came to my office, I will ask them, I mean, do you have another agent? Are you working with another agent right now? Because in our industry, you cannot really, it's against the code of ethics to, you know, help another client of somebody
else. So they can't
another
shop agent.
Yeah. So I just ask them if they have an agent, and if they say no, then I will explain to them, what the first and the second step, and then I'll tell them that how soon are you ready to buy, and what is the size of house, is it a townhouse, a condo, and which neighborhood, and this is the buyer brokerage agreement. And a lot of people, they think that, signing a buyer brokerage agreement is just signing their life. That is not how it works. I mean, you can sign a buyer brokerage agreement soon as you walk out, and if you think of an agent that you used to work in a long time, in the past, and you really think of him or her and wanted to hire that person, you can just say, oh, Yetti, I thought about this person and decided to go ahead and hire that individual. All you have to do is just cancel it professionally. The relationship that you have with that brokerage and me has to be officially, terminated before you go and just use another agent. So I tell them, the rules and regulations when they're picking an agent, how it works.
That's interesting. Can they make that decision at any point in the transaction, or is there one point where, they got to stick with you?
No, at the beginning, we have to establish our relationship as a buyer agent, me being as a buyer agent and them being as my client.
Okay.
So in between, if they're not happy with the way I serve them or availability, could be so many reasons, and they decided to go ahead and terminate the contract, yes, they have the right to terminate the contract.
Okay.
They don't have to wait until the end of the contract time.
And if they've given you deposits or anything like that, that's returned?
Some agents, they hold a retainer fee, but with me, I don't hold a retainer fee because I believe that my services are really excellent service, so they would not go for that. But if in case something happened and they change their mind or they don't want to buy now, they stop shopping, then they terminate.
So let's say, okay, now they're going to stay with you. They decided they love you and they like what you're offering. They're going to stay with you. So then how do you bring Elva in, or a bank? Are you the one that recommends a bank to them, or is that on them to do?
No, it is not really legal to say go to this loan officer, but as a realtor, as them, I'm their one-stop shopping person. I will have a list of home inspection, list of loan officer, list of multiple things for them to pick and choose. And then they call 2-3 of them, and whichever one answer the phone or answer their question to their satisfaction, they pick and choose. But we cannot really pick and just tell them to go to a certain agent.
Okay, got it.
By law,
We're going to take a short station break, so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
We cannot approve the loan until your wife goes back to work. I'm sorry.
Housing discrimination isn't always obvious or straightforward, but it is against the law. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, protects your rights to equal opportunity in housing.
If you've experienced housing discrimination, HUD can help. They can pursue compensation for your injuries and protect your equal opportunity to housing free of discrimination.
Prior to the break, we were talking to Yetti about getting everybody prepared, getting your clients prepared to purchase. Now we're moving to the bank. They're ready to talk to you, Elva, about credit scores and what they need to do. So what happens next when they come to your desk?
Typically, my clients are very new to the process, first-time buyers, as I said. As a loan officer and as a bank, we have a lot of responsibility with the borrower. We have to educate the process. We have to inform them about the regulations, and we present various options, financing options that might, fit their needs or that are available to them. So it's the first meeting could take up to 2 hours, depending of how many questions the borrower has. But the first meeting is key for us.
2 hours, up to 2 hours?
Sometimes, yes,
wow.
Sometimes.
That's a pretty serious meeting. That's pretty serious.
It can be, like I said, it can be long, but it's key for a successful home buying process, because the more knowledgeable the borrower is at that point, it's easier for everybody involved in the home buying process, the realtor, the lending institution, and of course down the road the attorney who will be conducting the closing of the transaction. So part of the programs that are available to first-time buyers, one of the requirements is also a pre-purchasing seminar or first-time home buyer seminar or some sort of certificate that can be done either in person or online. Okay, so by the time they find a home, they're pretty well informed about the whole process. And yes, there's plenty of information as far as what they need to know, what questions they need to ask when they are actually looking at properties. And we provide a booklet of that is required as a regulation as well to provide us information. And when they are applying for a loan, this is after they have found a home, we provide a list of 10 agencies that they can go to and ask questions that are within 10 miles of the property that they are purchasing. Okay. So I think the industry has made very, very positive changes for a home buyer. That if I always tell my clients to keep the package, the lending package, because it has a lot of information. If down the road they need to get information, they can go back to the package and find everything that they need.
Right.
Yeah, disclosures, information, places of that they can go and seek information, counseling, whatever their needs may be.
That's it. Okay, so now I've come to you. I've heard, and you've submitted. My credit scores are good. I've got the loan. Now it's back to Yetti. Who puts the title package together? How do I get to the title company? Because I don't know any title companies.
Well, the title company, most of the real estate, the brokerage firms.
That would be on your end.
Yeah, on my end, but they are affiliated with some title company.
Okay.
Most of them, they have a friendship or a business relationship with.
Most of the clients.
Most of the brokerage firm. The
real estate companies.
Firms. Okay. The real estate companies. Okay. They have partnership with other settlement companies, or there are independent, settlement companies that you can pick and choose.
Right.
So we just give them the list of, again, settlement companies because it's a buyer's choice.
Right.
And then sometimes they compare the fees. And if they are the same, usually they go to the closest settlement company near to the house or near where they work or near to my office, whichever one that they pick. But we just, give them a list of settlement companies.
And what is that process like? Because earlier you said when they first meet you, they're not signing their life away. But when they go to that title company,
yes,
are they signing their life away at that point?
Kind of, because once the contract become ratified between my company and the other company, when it become ratified, and then I send it to Elva, and also I send it to the title company.
Okay.
So Elva's company and Elva herself and the title company processor communicate until the closing date.
Okay.
There's documents that they exchange between the two before I and my client go to the settlement table to sign the documents.
Okay, so now I'm really happy. I got Elva is giving me the loan.
Yes.
I got my realtor that's with me who has the key, and we get in. I'm in the house. I'm happy. Everything is going well.
Yes.
But then 2 years down the line, my husband loses his job. My child has a horrible disease, curable, but is sick. And I'm panicking because I'm thinking, I think I'm not going to be able to make my mortgage payment next month. Is that something that I should just try to work through by myself, or should I get in contact with you and Elva or one of you? I mean, because we've signed the contract and you're gone. So as an agent, do you still stay in contact with your client?
Well, when I stay in contact with my clients, it's not for something like this. I stay in contact with them because I work by referral, and we still need to be in good terms. And sometimes they need some painter or some plumber or any kind of renovation that they want to do.
Right.
They contact me. Do you know a good contractor? Do you know a good a good landscaper? So I'm still communicating with my client even after closing for this reason, to be their service provider or referral source for other services.
Because if this happens to me, you and Elva are really all I kind of know, but I'm embarrassed, and I think maybe I can handle this myself. So if I pick up the phone and call you and I'm panicked, how would you respond to that?
Well, I referred her to contact the lender because this is not something as a realtor that I can help. But I recommend for her, to contact the loan officer, or maybe if there is anything that Elva knows within her power, then I'll.
So I say thank you very much, Yetti, and then I come to you.
Elva,
Is that the right thing to do, or should I try to struggle through that?
No, I think that's the first thing. Normally, I'm the point of contact, and I would try to help as much as possible, and. That's exactly why in the loan package that with that home buyer signs at the beginning when you're buying a home, there's information there, and like the list that I was mentioning to you about the places that you can go to. Those are places that have lawyers on staff, counselors, and that can help in situations like that. But then, the first step should always be also to contact the bank, the mortgagor, to see if, the bank doesn't want to, lose a client or, exactly. Right. So they will do everything is possible
I think I need to repeat that again, is that the banks, because some people think that, they think the banks are just waiting for something to happen so that they can take people's houses back.
No,
but it's really not. You really want to see them stay in that home. What kind of things can they do, or can you do to assist them a little bit? Because maybe the situation is just temporary.
Right. The banks that service the loans, because I work for one that has a servicing department. Some others, it could be just that they do the mortgage, but they don't service. So in this case, you would need to contact whoever is sending you the bills, right? It could have some banks change or sell the loan, and it's not necessarily the bank that has originated the loan at the beginning. So whoever is sending you the bills, call the number. That's the first step. And like I said, they don't want to foreclose, so they will work some sort of arrangement, so you can keep your home.
So arrangements can be made. And the reason I'm bringing this out, because I've known some people who have waited almost 3 months, and they're getting notices that they need to do it. But I'm thinking if they had started maybe earlier in the process, that some homes may not have been foreclosed on.
Right.
I guess after you get to a certain point, I mean, it's almost nothing else that can happen unless you have 3 months or 4 months worth of money,
right?
To put up.
Yeah. And if the process, or sometimes calling a 1-800 number can be intimidating, because you have to wait a long time, and then you are transferred from person to person. And that's why now we provide information of these places that you can go and get help. Somebody that can represent you and go speak for you. And that's if you need, of course. But typically, I would say that if I work for a small community bank, and where you know who you need to talk to about certain situations. So, if then I can help as well.
I have found that the small community banks are not as intimidating as some of the larger banks. Just from personal experience, I have been in community type banks, and people are there. They're welcoming you, and the coffee and everything is there. You don't feel as intimidated as with some of the larger banks that you're going to. The next question that I have is, okay, we're in the spring months. So Yetti, from your standpoint, is this a good time?
Excellent.
Talk a little bit about that. We got about a minute and a half.
Well, a lot of people already updated their home, and the gardens are, the flowers are bloomed already, and it's a good market. I mean, people are, putting their homes on the market, so we're ready out there, to show it. Spring is a great market. Spring and summer is excellent for real estate sales.
And they should call you to come and look, so you can tell them what they need to do and what they don't need to do, right?
Yes,
is that right?
Definitely,
okay, good.
Yeah.
And so, Elva, what about you on your part? Is this good? This is a good time too for financing?
It's we go hand in hand when it comes to spring and summer. It's extremely busy. It's we work long hours, but we're happy to help.
Is your bank open longer than 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock? Are you open later? And on Saturdays?
This is, I mean, we're self-employed, you know, I mean, we're on commission, so obviously the more we work, you know, the more we can help. So I tend to work weekends because that's just the nature of what I do. So.
Okay, very good. Ladies, thank you so much. I know how busy you both are, and so I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful that you took the time away from your work to come here and share with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'd like to have you back. Because I know there are lots of other things that we could cover, but I was trying to, you know, put it all in the. So, our time is up, and I want to encourage you to sit down and have a chat with your realtor and banker about any real estate decision you are planning to make. There are many new programs for housing and financing that are available on the market, but you have to seek them out. Your realtor and banker are there to help you walk through that process. Thank you for watching Rock Your Block. We will see you next week right here on Channel 10. Have a safe and productive week. Bye-bye.